So guys, here we are, MMA UK News, Stoomboy as always. So normally the MMA UK BJJ show, but as everybody knows, I like to talk a little MMA every now and again. So this time we're obviously been talking about Rise and Conquer. Now, Rise and Conquer is going to be on the 1st of October. It's going to be at the Rainton Arena. Now, ticket availability, head over to the Rise and Conquer Facebook page and you will be able to get tickets directly through there. Anybody that can't make the event on the evening, there will be pay-per-view through Live MMA. So again, head over to the Rise and Conquer Facebook page, and you will be able to get the details of the pay-per-view directly through there. So promises to be a great night. I keep talking about this night. I mean, Rise and Conquer always put on a great show. I mean, obviously my next guest, Paul, has been on quite a few of them, so he'll be able to tell us. But it's always a great show. Obviously, amateurs and pros, male and female, and a wide range of martial arts are going to be on display as well. So there's obviously something to cater for everyone at a Rise and Conquer show. So I'd say unbelievable night. Yeah, definitely don't miss this. I mean, either get a ticket, being in person. I mean, being in person at an event is great watching it on the TV, but actually being in person live there in front of having the crowd and the atmosphere and so on, there's no better place to be than actually at the venue itself. So if you can get there, make sure you do get along. So my next guest then is going to be on the show that night. So going to have Paul Hartburn. Now, Paul comes out of TFT team, so the TFT MMA. Going to be up against Ryan Taylor. So this is going to be Paul's first pro fight. So his pro debut. Obviously had a great amateur career. And as I mentioned, Rise and Conquer veteran. So yeah, we're buzzing to see Paul on the 1st of October. So Paul, it's an absolute pleasure. Thanks again for obviously taking the time to speak to me.
Yeah, thanks for having us, mate.
No, it's an absolute pleasure, buddy. So what about you then? How's everything going with yourself? Obviously training. Because as you've probably seen, we've been laughing with some of the guys and saying to them, as everybody obviously coming into the last couple of weeks, weight cutting and stuff like that, and everybody's like, yeah, it'll be fine. Me and you laughed before it, saying everybody's like, yeah, it'll be fine. But tell us the truth, Paul. How is it?
They're all shit. I've watched every one of the interviews, and they're all saying, yeah, they're happy. It's not. I'm miserable as sin at the moment. I'm cold because my body fat's down. I'm hungry. I'm sick of aching. So that's the truth when it comes to the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. But it is worth it. I mean, as you've been through this a number of times before, and obviously getting to the night, obviously everything you're doing leading up to it. Obviously that's all the hard work, and then once you get to the fight, obviously don't get me wrong, the fight's always hard, but that's what you spend the last 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks to get to that 9 minutes or 15 minutes.
Yeah, no, I obviously enjoy it. I wouldn't keep putting myself through it. But yeah, once you get your hand raised, there's no better feeling. Like,
Yeah. So what about you training wise then? So how is everything going for you? How often do you get to train? Usually on a weekly basis.
generally, I train twice a day, 6 days a week, possible. So I'm up first thing in the morning, train with my S&C coach, go to work all day, then go to Fishers on the night. That's generally me kind of crack. Today's supposed to be my rest day, but I'm going to go and do sprints or something tonight, I think, after this.
Right. And what about you? I mean, it must be difficult having obviously having a job, right? Because obviously, again, I know a lot of people that'll go out and work. One of the guys here that I speak to regularly, Aidan Stevens, so he's exactly the same. Do you know what I mean? He'll train twice a day, and not just him and you, but I mean, you've got MMA fighters all over the world that do the same thing. I mean, how difficult is it to keep up, no, to do the 2 times a day, go out to work and keep motivated and stuff like that and having that vision on your goal?
I think you have to love it, really, don't you? Like, to put yourself through it every day. Like, I've got a new strength and conditioning coach, Ian Glass, who's been spot on. He's really pushing me this fight camp, and to get up, put myself through that on a morning, go to my work every day, and then go and listen to, like, Fisher's crap. I would say I got tongue tied there, and then obviously train. Yeah, you gotta love the sport. You can't do it half-assed. If you want to do it, you got to go all in.
Yeah. I said I always love that. I mean, especially like to as you say, to keep going, and then especially if you go out and you've got a job and you're having to work during the day, because obviously the goal is everybody wants to to eventually, when they do go pro, to maybe do it full time and stuff like that. But even that, I mean, I'd say that's difficult to do, because I'd say it's do you know what I mean? Not everybody's getting paid Conor McGregor money.
See, I'm probably different. I run my own business, so I've like that's my career, that's my long term kind of thing. I just do this because I enjoy it. I love competing. I love pushing myself. I'm a lot older than a lot of my teammates, so as long as my body can still do it, I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah, yeah. And we talked as well, obviously, some of the young guys. And again, it's the same in any gym. Some of the young guys in our gym, in my gym, give me a hard time being the older guy. They want to kill the old guy. And I'd say it's no different at TFT.
Yeah, especially with the ones in my weight class. I deal with all the mental ones like Nathan Haywood, Dan Bainbridge, Robbie Brown, Kenzie Little's kind of coming up and ending up in our kind of squad because we all have short man syndrome, so there's
Yeah,
no 8 rounds. We're all trying to kill each other.
yeah, yeah. Nah, that's brilliant. I love it. I love it. I'd say I love it when the young kids always, when I go into the gym and they're like, Stoom, you old man, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And I'm like, you're going to do nothing, man. And I always say, like, beware of the old man that's still doing it. Do you know what I mean? Because I think someone said that. Beware of the older guy that's still training at like late 30s, 40s, 50s, and so on. Do you know what I mean? Because they've been through all the shit. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? They've been through everything. And I do, I laugh at some of the young guys and say, well, look, when you're my age, when you're in your 40s, some of you guys won't even be training. Do you know what I mean? So, whereas I'll still be here at 60-year-old, still popping into the gym for the odd session.
yeah, yeah. And you get that old man strength as you get older, don't you? Because all your athleticism goes. So you've got to just grab hold of them and pin them down and let them play themselves.
Yes, definitely. And tell us about then your debut, pro debut coming up. Obviously, you had a great amateur career. So obviously this is going to be your first pro fight. So tell us how this came about for yourself then, Paul.
I was actually on the piss when I found out about it. I was I'd been to the races for the day, and I was in Newcastle on my way to a pub to go and watch UFC London. And
Yeah,
Fisher phoned me. I was a few drinks deep by that point, and he told me I was going pro. He got me a match up against Ryan Taylor, and I was like, oh, he's just trying to add me on like every bit of social media actually. So he obviously knew about the fight well before I did, and was
yeah,
trying to be sneaky surveillance on me, but I don't accept him. I don't accept anyone I don't know, really. So yeah.
yeah. And I'd say it's a good matchup for you as well. I'd say Ryan Taylor. Do you know what I mean? I'd say good fighter. Obviously, I know his record doesn't look that, but I mean, he's had some tough fights. He's had some really tough fights. And that's it. So it's going to be a really good matchup. Good evenly matched fighters as well. So I mean, do you know much about Ryan at all?
Just what I've watched online. He looks game. He looks like he's going to try and kill you with every shot. I think stylistically and skill level, I'll be too much for him. I don't think he understands concepts of like distance. He's just going to run in and swing a load of bombs at you, fling a few kebab shop specials. But if he falls into if he falls into the shots, like he's going to end up in my world, which is a grappling game. And I
Yeah.
think a short night for him, to be fair.
Yeah, yeah. As in, it's funny as well, because obviously when you look at people's records, and even though I think he's 0-3 at the moment as a pro, but do you know what I mean? That doesn't always reflect on the fighter himself. Do you know what I mean? So, because we've seen some pros out there some like guys in the UFC are like fucking 15-10 and stuff like that. But as you said, he's really game, comes forward. He's going to come forward. But as you mentioned, I mean, your grappling's brilliant. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I've seen you, and yeah, if he comes on the ground with you, then yeah, it might be a quick night for him.
You don't want to be that guy as well, do you? When you're fighting an own three guy, you don't want to be the first one to give him the one. So you can't
Yeah.
switch off. You can't take these fights lightly because everyone's got a puncher's chance. So I'm not going to be taking them lightly. I'm going to be going in there like I'm going in there against Jose Aldo. You know, I'm
Yeah.
going in there.
Yeah. Tell us as well about how, because again, I've asked a few people this about who would you love to see in front of you? If let's say you had a dream matchup, anybody past or present, who would you love to see standing in front of you?
See, because I'm obviously a lot older, I like old school kind of MMA. So I'd be saying someone like the original lighter weights, like a BJ Penn or a Jens Pulver, maybe even someone crazy like Sakuraba back from the Pride days. That would be fun, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Some of the kind of OGs of the lighter weight would be fun. Cal no, another kind of OG lighter weight.
Yeah, yeah. Sakuraba was nuts, man. We used to love watching Sakuraba, and his videos as well. You ever seen his videos where he'll do a move and then he'll put it on and the person will be tapping and he'll stop and then he'll do it again. So he's nuts, man. He always looks drunk. He's always looks like he's pissed. Do you know what I mean? Whenever he's doing anything.
There used to be a Henzo Gracie gym in Hartlepool where I lived, and me and my pal went along, and my pal took his hoodie off, and he didn't realise he had a Sakuraba rash guard, Gracie Killer rash guard on, and I was just like, oh. I was like, for God's sake, man.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, he was awesome. Sakuraba was definitely brilliant to watch. Definitely very, very entertaining. Do you know what I mean? And that was at a time when, as you know, obviously MMA was just coming to the forefront. And as I said, you had a lot of entertaining fighters like him that were coming
Yeah.
out and they would always put on a show. Obviously, UK guys that went out and did it as well. So that was a great time. I'd say old school old school MMA was, yeah, definitely the best.
I love catch wrestling as well. I love that kind of horrible, dirty kind of grappling style. So back then there was a lot more catch. Obviously, it seems to have kind of phased out a little bit, or
Yeah,
it's just wrestling now. But like I watched years ago, like Billy Robinson stuff, Josh Barnett, Sakuraba stuff. I used to love sitting and studying all that type of stuff. Eric Paulson was another one. Like used to love watching all the toe holds and ankle locks and things like that.
yeah, yeah. Great stuff to watch. Do you know what I mean? Great stuff to watch. These kids nowadays, man, they don't understand. Do you know what I mean? They're seeing Conor McGregor and thinking everything's going to be absolutely brilliant. But go back and look at some of the stuff from years ago, man. Is as I said, definitely the best. Some of the best MMA that you'd ever seen happened years ago. So, and then just got a couple of comments coming in. So obviously, Augusto Castillo just saying Paul for the win.
He's a good lad, Caesar. He's
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah, got a good chat with him last night, so looking forward to seeing him obviously representing TFT for the first time. Obviously on October the 1st. Katrina just coming in with obviously big hands. Do you know what I mean? So
I'm
your
surprised.
boy,
Yes.
I was going to say your boy as well, Dan Bainbridge, just coming in there with some fire emoji there. So yeah, Dan, obviously looking forward to seeing you again. Obviously one of your training partners as well.
It's quite tame, actually. I was expecting some abuse from them all.
And then obviously Arn East MMA UK News just coming in saying training under such a renowned coach as Andrew Fisher must fill you with confidence going into your pro debut.
Yeah, he's been around the block, hasn't he? He's seen it all. He probably hates me because I'm always asking him questions about rounds and techniques. If I'm in the gym tonight, I'll have Fight Pass on, I'll be watching something, and then I'll send him a screenshot going, is this what I did wrong in the gym? Is this the position I should have had? And he's probably trying to chill out on a night, and he's just got me constantly on him. But yeah,
Nah.
I hate to give him any credit, but he's good.
I was talking there as well, some of the guys, obviously, because obviously there's a few people making their amateur debuts and stuff like that. And that's what I was saying. I said, look, to obviously make that walk down to the cage and to turn around and see your corner. And obviously having somebody like Andrew Fisher and so on in your corner, again, it must fill them with confidence. And obviously everybody was saying, yeah, man, they say there's no better corner to have. Do you know what I mean? So, and it must be great for the amateurs. Do you know what I mean? Especially we talked to like Caesar last night, and he was talking about obviously the role. Do you know what I mean? Getting the train with like Mick Parkin and Phil DeVries, and obviously Tom Aspinall coming in, Paul Craig, and obviously Fisher as well. So it's definitely, as I say, we always talk about how great the setup that you guys have at TFT.
Yeah, the best thing about Fisher is like you can watch any event, like Cage Warriors event, if like James is on or someone, and his voice just cuts through everything. So when you're in there, you can hear everything. So he's got a really good voice for the corner, and it just cuts out, like, you don't hear anybody else other than Fisher's voice when you're in there, to be fair.
Yeah. I heard he loses it on the Monday. So he loses the voice after every single event.
Yeah, it'll probably be gone by the time I get in there. Like, there's been a few when I've been cornering with him and I've been getting elbows up to shout things because it's gone. Like,
Brilliant, brilliant. And then Dan Bainbridge, obviously you spoke too soon. So Dan,
I was,
nah, he's just coming in saying, ask Paul about his amazing head movement.
he's just some stupid videos we were all making in the group the other week, because I was like a young Floyd Mayweather, really.
Yeah. And then he said as well, and also amazing spinning back kicks.
I'm like the white Kung Lee, fold his ribs in half every time.
I love it. Absolutely love it. And then what's next then? So obviously pro debut, going to be your main focus. So obviously, what would you like to see yourself doing going forward after this?
Just taking one fight at a time. Like I said to you earlier, I'll keep going until my body tells me I can't do it anymore. So it's just nice to finally make pro. I was hoping it was going to be a bit sooner, but then COVID happened. I got fat, so the last kind of year or so was a case of getting trimmed back down and things. But yeah, I'm not looking past this. Let me get this one done, and then we'll go from there. Like I said, I've got no, at my age, no goals to be in the UFC or anything like that. I'm just doing it while I enjoy it. And the day I don't enjoy it, anybody tells me I can't do it no more, that's when I'll stop.
Yeah, perfect. And then last thing for you then. So obviously been in the game for a little bit. As I said again, we talk about the level of training partners just at TFT alone. But as I'm sure you've had a lot of great training partners over the years. But anybody you want to shout out to, friends, family members, teammates, anything like that.
Cheers to all the lads at TFT. Main sparring partners this fight camp have been Nathan Haywood, Ben Goldsborough. Ben puts a lot of time in with us on me striking every Friday. Even though he's pissed off an all day tonight, that's why I'm not training with him tonight. Robbie Brown, Mackenzie Little, another two. Dan, obviously. He's like me, naughty little brother that you have to look after. Family, obviously. My missus for allowing me to keep like training and doing what I want. We've got a young family at home, so she does put up with a lot for us to be able to keep doing it. Sponsors: Inglass Fitness, Gym Grill, Lost Tower Tattoo, Fighting Fit Physiotherapy, Aaron Scott Aesthetics, Will Rochester Plumbing, Locked Up Locksmiths. I think I've got them all in. I've probably forgot. Oh, Protein Superstar. I've probably still forgot some other ones. And thank you to Bailey Gilbert and the lads and Rick and the lads at Sensei. They've been doing some rounds and training with us as well outside of team.
Nice. That's a really good team behind you. Obviously, you mentioned not just the team in the gym. A lot of people forget as well the sponsors. Where do you know what I mean how much having sponsors behind the MMA fighters is such a massive help to the MMA fighters, whether it be an amateur or pro. So, and I say it's great for people to have the sponsors behind them.
Yeah, prior to this fight, like I've done all my own strength and conditioning and everything. So getting Ian on board was great for me to just like come in, everything be set up for me, and him to push me and also give a different spin on things, as opposed to me just doing my own thing. And obviously, you get the days where you feel like crap and having someone behind you, a giant of man screaming at you, kind of gives you a bit more incentive to keep going, especially when
Yeah.
it's like been up since 5:30 in the morning. So.
Oh, listen. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you, Paul, on the 1st of October. I say looking forward to that pro debut and obviously seeing what you're going to bring. So guys, there we go. We're going to have Paul Hartburn of TFT MMA. So going to be up against Ryan Taylor. Now it's going to be 1st of October. Rainton Arena, so that's Rise and Conquer. Now, ticket availability, as I said before, head over to the Rise and Conquer Facebook page, and you will be able to get your tickets directly through there. And anybody that can't make the event on the evening, Live MMA will have that pay-per-view. So again, head over to Rise and Conquer Facebook page. £10.99 for the pay-per-view, which is an absolute great price. I mean, especially for the amount of fights that you're going to get and the level of talent that you're going to see on the night as well. I see both male and female fighters across various different weight divisions. So it's definitely worth it. £10.99. Paul, you've been in a game for a while. You've seen some crazy pay-per-view prices. So a lot more. Some of them are a lot more than £10.99. So yeah, £10.99 is going to be an absolute bargain. Plus, Rise and Conquer is an unbelievable event. As I said, they're well established. They put on a lot of events before. So and everybody loves being on it. As I said, Paul's been on it. I don't know how many times now, but yeah.
This is about my 5th time, I think.
Yeah, so been on quite a few. So as they such a great event, Paul. Yeah,
Yeah, it's all well matched as well. I
yeah,
think it was 2 shows ago. I think like 95% of them all went to a decision. So it shows you how evenly matched it was. I think Fisher does well in that aspect, getting people good fights. So yeah, it's always a good card, to be fair.
definitely. So yeah, definitely make sure you guys do not miss this. We always talk about being there live and in person as well. I mean, the atmosphere. Do you know what I said? It's good seeing it on the TV, but being in the venue itself for the night, the atmosphere. There's nothing like an MMA event. A really, really good put together MMA event. Because I said it's brilliant. I mean, the crowd, they're all buzzing, especially when the fighters come out. The fighters are all buzzing as well. That's the good thing. I mean, I can't remember who it was I was talking to, but they were on Evolution of Combat when it was in. There was no spectators, and they said
Right.
it was absolutely it was a great event, but it was horrible because there was nobody to feed off of. Because you know yourself coming out, and especially if you got people there, family, friends, and stuff like that, and they're screaming your name, you get a buzz off of that.
Yeah, I did. I cornered at a couple of those ones. Celtic Gladiators one, which got put on in Wales because Wales was open at the time. I was cornering down there, and then I went and cornered at the Cage Steel one as well. And it was weird. Like you could hear every sound, every hit in there. But yeah, it's obviously I'm glad
Yeah.
that we're back to normality.
Definitely. So it's brilliant having the fans back, having the spectators there. So as I said, nothing like an MMA event and nothing like a Rise and Conquer event. So Paul, listen, absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for obviously taking the time to speak to me tonight.
No, cheers for your time, mate. Thanks for having us on. Appreciate it.
Listen, enjoy the sprints.
I will do.
But listen, stay safe, buddy. Enjoy the rest of your training. I'll see you on the 1st of October.
See you then, my mate.
Thank you.
Bye.